Hello everyone, and welcome to this video. If you've been following my content, you may have known that one of my awesome supporters, user 142060, made a couple of these awesome RVs and campers fully following my lore and style. And in this video, we're going to take the Puffin, which is the helicopter based on the Ray 216, and we're going to take a look at its interior and possibly make some changes kind of to match my style even more, or things that I may find are appropriate. So let's begin. So again, I'm doing this fully with the permission of 142060. The amazing photos that you see here and just this incredible creation is something that I wanted to do actually. I've been kind of wanting to make and replicate what is quite famous, one of the Winnebago helicopters, kind of based on the platform that I based my helicopter off of. So we're going to take a look and see what can sort of be done. I don't really expect there to be much, because it's not like I have to go through and, change anything major. In fact, you could see even here, the logo is already completed fully with my own style of text, lore, and this beautiful Puffin. So that's even been done. I could see that a generator was added, which kind of fits here underneath the bed in the bedroom. Of course, in here, the space is beautiful and it kind of matches exactly what I kind of put in mine. So let's just do a little walk around and see if I can't come up with some things that I can adjust. And again, with the permission of 142060, and kind of just minor things. So obviously the actual way the thing works seems to be unchanged, which is exactly what I was hoping for. Front, left, right. Okay, so the cameras all work. In here, we did lose the door that went into the cabin, so the only access is from the exterior, which is down here, which is fine, not a big deal, especially because we had to fit this fireplace, and kind of having a hole in the ceiling wouldn't really do. You wouldn't be traveling down here anyway. But for that reason, I think that in here I can match this on the other side as well, to kind of give ourselves a little more seating space if you're going with your family or something. Let's put a fire extinguisher down here, just making it the same color. And then up where the fire extinguisher is, I'm going to put some more first aid. Always need first aid, especially in a game like Stormworks, where that is pretty much the way to survive. Now, this seat may not work with what's above. Okay. But luckily we have this slot right here. So I'm just going to move one of these. So we have backup, systems, lights, jet power. So I think backup is the one that doesn't really, that doesn't match the rest. Meaning it's more like a emergency style system. So what I'm going to do is bring this up there. Bring this up there. So the top row is all of our ones that we need for normal operation. And then the backup we're just going to throw there next to the light switch. Make this closed. And then in that case, this seat should fit beautiful. All right. So now we can fit 4 people in here. Just going to color those. And I think that's all the changes I'm going to do to the cockpit. Okay, yeah. So over here we got a bump out. That's perfect. That was done really well, matching my style. I actually have a new controller for the bump out, meaning you don't need, or slide out, meaning you don't need this kind of on or off button, but rather you just activate it and the whole thing comes out and locks automatically. I believe the controller is here somewhere. So we should find the camper RV bump out controller, and that will attach itself to all those nodes. And I'm going to put a ratio of 1 to 8 on the track there. Okay, so that handles the bump out stuff, or slide out, pardon me. I'm going to extend this window for symmetry and use the slide out as the extent of that window. Alright. One other thing that looking in here, I kind of want to do, I do want to put like pendant lights hanging over top of the counter space. So something like that. We'll see where the position is also over here. I'm going to delete this, make it kind of have a little bit of an overhang for the counter. And let's match it on this side as well. Now this may make walking around the counter a little difficult, but as we all know in Stormworks, you kind of have to jump around and whatnot for movement, so you probably have to jump into that seat, not a big deal. And now, are we centered? So with this, we should be 2 from the edge here, 2 from the edge here. I'm gonna grab this, put it right here, and match that nice warm interior color. Connect everything to the electricity. And again, these are styling changes that are purely, you know, they're not based on anything other than kind of just me going through and determining that this is something that I want to change. So obviously everyone will do it differently. It's objective, that's what I wanted to say. Anyway, the lights are there. We're gonna, that's interior lights, that's perfect. Then we have the heater, fireplace. I'm gonna move the heater down to here, button, toggle, channel 2. And I do want to make an exterior light because I found all these lights are controlled by the cockpit, which is fine. But if you're in the cabin, there probably may be a situation where you want to illuminate the outside here as you are, you know, leaving or going on a hike or something. So we're going to put that light right there and make it match that warm color. So yes, it looks a little funky, but if you turn off the exterior cockpit lights, let's call it, and turn on this, then it shouldn't really be anything other than normal. So there we go. We're going to label that channel 4, exterior lights. And I believe that's the only channel we're not using, and that's what I just plugged in. Beautiful. All right, so that is up there and connected to electricity. Just like that. All right. So the window's added. This is perfect. This is great. Just walking my way through here. All right. In the bedroom area. This is great. Up here, I'm just going to extend this outwards just so it looks intentional because this thing is part of the exterior, but I don't want it to look kind of out of place. And we're just going to go ahead and put a handle to make it look like it's some kind of storage. So you can open that area up and access clothes or whatnot. The fireplace is great. The door is great. All right. Okay, the one thing that I do want to add is I want to put a rifle because of like hunting purposes. Only hunting. But I also want to put fishing gear. And fishing gear I want to put because I find that if you are camping, you want to fish. So we'll put one rifle, and I wish they had kind of like a more old school style rifle, something like a carbine, like just wood stock and whatnot. But this is the rifle that we have, so I'm gonna put that, and we're gonna put it in this wall. I don't think there's anything I can put on the exterior. They're all kind of used up, so that's the one place that I think it will fit. Now this is the fuel intake for the generator, so I just have to move out this tank and we'll push it out here and then adjust the piping as needed to have the ability to do that. And down here, we'll adjust the routing. One thing I want to do on the exterior before I get to the fishing gear and stuff is I want to put this on this side here. Well, I don't want to put it, but you can see that over there it matches the bump out, and we don't need it to be symmetrical. It doesn't really matter, but what I do want it to do is kind of frame the entrance. So we'll do that, and then we'll do this, and then over here I can simply put stairs, and yeah, they may stick out a little bit, but as like it's supposed to be a camper, an RV, a motorhome, and with that motorhome has to come kind of creature comforts and just some nice polished areas, and that includes kind of having nice steps. And inside the bedroom we can go and put our equipment. So I want fishing gear, and I want it to kind of fit down here. So actually let's put a little block there. We'll do this. Oops, upside down. There we go. We'll make one red, one blue, presumably different types or lines or whatever. And then up there, the rifle. Again, I wish they had kind of a hunting variant or protection, but anyway, we'll put that right up there, and we'll give it some extra ammo. So just like that, and we'll put rifle ammo over here. We'll seal these off just to make sure that the fluid doesn't accidentally enter the cabin, and then we'll put the sliding hatch, and it should fit right in this slot, just like that. And we'll color it nicely, and then we'll put here hunting and fishing gear. Alright, so that's kind of in the bedroom closed off, and that should be it. With the steps now, you'll see we can just kind of like do a slight jump and walk in. In here, interior lights, exterior light. The window's bigger, that's great. We got our bump out. If we push this, perfect. In here, we got the gear. Got our light system and heater and stuff, so that's great. Alright, let's take her for a spin. Alright, we'll fire up the engines, turn on our displays, and once the RPMs or RPS gets to a certain level, we'll fire up the rotor clutch, and that should be good enough for us to take off. We'll turn off the landing gear brakes so we could actually kind of coast on the ground, and then once we've lifted off, at least turn them back on so we can land and kind of not roll around. But what's really cool about this helicopter is the fact that we can now camp anywhere we'd like, including on top of mountains and anything like that. So it really does give a wide variety of all kinds of locations and things that we can do. And for a game like Stormworks, where you really have that kind of open world freedom, I think the Puffin is great for just simple exploration and kind of playing around. Now, whether you wanted to kind of do more of like a lore based or role playing or something, I think that would also work, but even just simple transportation, it could be great. So we're gonna land here, shut down the rotors, shut down the power, and now we're at our first campsite. So we'll close the door up, and now we're on the top of the mountain. So we got views all around, and if we hop into the home portion, turn on some of the lights, extend the slide out. How fantastic is that? Oh, I even love that little side window that kind of slides out with it. That's great too. So we got our gear, the bedroom. We didn't fire up the generator. Let's see. Presumably the generator is here. I just have to see if it's on or not. Maybe it doesn't turn on when we have 100% battery. We'll have to take a look at that. But as far as this is concerned, I would say this is a beautiful interior. Now look at us. We're like above the clouds here. So cool. I'm not sure if the other microcontroller was better. It probably was more advanced, but I put my own so you could hear it for starting, and now it is on. You can see the batteries are charging up, and even if we run a bunch of load, it keeps up with it. It doesn't have to be at a high RPS. It just needs to be enough that it keeps up with the demands of the RV, which it does. I want to give a huge shout out again to user 142060 for making the puffin out of my Ray 216 platform. This thing looks beautiful, and I love the functionality and use, and again, just how close it is to my lore and my style. I want to give a huge shout out to all of my supporters. I'm talking about my YouTube members, my Discord server boosters. Thank you guys so much. You're awesome. I love participating in the chat with you and giving early release creations and videos for you guys to enjoy, because it really does make it fun for me. And I want to give a shout out and thank you to each and every one of you for watching these videos, for participating, for being awesome. Truly, the community is so great. I just love putting out content and creations for you guys, so I really do enjoy that. And last but not least, all of my Discord admins and moderators. Great team, great group of guys, and I really love these guys, and the server wouldn't be the same without them. So thank you so much. You know who you are. And with that, we're going to conclude the video. Until next time, see ya, and happy Stormworksing. By the way, this creation will be coming out just after I finish this video, so you will find a link in the top and you yourselves can enjoy it.